Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, Richie Rides. Today I'm going to go to work. I'm going to work. And I've done a work video ride before, but in the winter, so I'll just do it in the summer. It's nice out. I did a video yesterday, but I ended up not using it. The bar ride thing was just, it looked okay for a bit, but I did a whole thing on the bars, and here I'll go back on the chest. It looks cool for short sequences, but that's about it. So I got a lot of that kind of footage. GoPro was shutting down too, overheating. It's cooler today. Yesterday was like over 30 degrees Celsius. It's pretty cool. Pretty hot. So that seems to be the limit with the GoPro, is at after 30 degrees, I guess it's around 90, maybe 95, I guess. Anyway, it's around 90 Fahrenheit. Then I get maybe 10 minutes and the GoPro starts to overheat, turns off. Did it 2 days in a row. Kind of a bit disappointed, really. But anyway, today's a nice day. It's a little bit cooler. And I'm going to just leave it record the whole time. Let's see what happens. Police are here. There's something's going on. Yeah, nice new Fords. So I work as a sound man out right now. It's about 20 kilometers outside of, well, not that far outside of Sudbury, but it's in Hanmer. It's just down a Highway 69. Notorious Highway 69. Notorious for car accidents. But that's coming in, going outside the city farther, not necessarily where, well, there's accidents obviously where I am, but it becomes a bit of a dangerous highway. Oh. I'm all over the place here. All over the road. Talking and riding at the same time is hard time multitasking. Anyway. I don't know. I don't really want to ride like a motorbike. I mean, I've been riding bikes all my life. I've always ridden bikes, and I haven't really changed my riding style that much. I mean, I just kind of like dart across and, you know, hop curbs and stuff. That's just, I more do it to pick an efficient route, and B, stay away from cars as much as possible. I'd like to just stay on lanes like this if they were available, but they're spotty. They're only in certain sections. You know, the roads are really bad too, and narrow. See, this city grew a lot, and when it grows, it just, you know, 2-lane roads become 4-lane roads, and that's kind of the problem here. They get widened, but not all the way through. Like they just do. Probably because the seasons are short, they can only do chunks at a time when they do fixed roads. So there's that. But anyway. Y'all know that if you watch my channel. Okay, let's bring it up a notch. No rain in the forecast. Should be good to go. So I'm in the market for a truck. I'm gonna look for a truck. And once I get that, we're doing a couple of trips. We'll visit some friends and family. So I moved here about 6 years ago. I know a few people, but not that many. Mostly in the music stuff that I do. But I grew up in Timmins, which is anyway. Oh, beside you here. Oh, beside you here. Oh, he doesn't see me. Oh, it's coming through here. Got head freaking earphones on. Watch I don't break my chain. So I used to have my own sound company, before COVID, and I was quite busier before that, Northern Media, and I would have clients, and a lot of bars would just hire me to do sound. Some of them I'd bring in my system, some of them I would set up a system. Mostly tours. I did a lot of tours, like metal bands and punk bands, and a lot of bands that tour across Canada that play to like under 200 people crowds. We had a pretty good scene in Timmins. We built that up, and that went, did that for maybe 10 years over there, and then decided to just kind of move to Sudbury for a couple of reasons. Like, it was just the politics were getting against what we were doing, and it was just getting weird. So I just kind of switched everything over. That was 2019. Moved to Sudbury, and just kind of started getting back into it. Like, I had a client here, and so I started with that, and got a few of them. And then COVID hit, and that slowed really everything down. But it was in a way, I was a bit fortunate because I had already kind of just like was rebuilding and just kind of starting over, and it didn't really hit me that hard. Like, I had done that kind of transition pre-COVID, because it hit the business. I mean, for 2 years, did almost nothing, and I did some work online and that, but I was able to get by with the work I did have, delivering food and working at the restaurant and so on, and kind of stuff. And my car, when I got into e-biking, it's because the vehicle I had a engine blew, and it was too expensive to repair. And so, Jesus, I'm kind of broke. I don't like borrowing money, because the nature of my business is feast and famine, of course, and it's not really it's better to not have payments when you're just this line of work. You know what I mean? So I've just accustomed myself to just not having like a high amount of small payments, basically, is the way I do it. So anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Right, so anyway, instead of repairing my car, I just bought an e-bike and just scrapped it. And this is when I started doing the videos. And I've been saving money. And now I'm starting to look around for, a truck. Again, I don't want to pay, I want to keep my bills and my footprint low. Because I don't mind this kind of lifestyle, to be honest with you. It's not a high stress lifestyle. Music doing shows is a lot of fun. And it works out pretty good. It's, I get those gigs that really help. The ones that come up during the summer. And then it's usually full time well, not full time, but I mean weekends in the winter and that. So I started doing that in Vancouver, and it's always kind of kept it. I just always mixed that with odd jobs, and I'm still doing that. And the thing is, a lot of people depend on me for this kind of work. I used to, like, especially in Timmins, but like when the scene kind of dried up, it was a good time to change. The bands are, an entire scene you're supporting an entire scene. Like, there's a couple of hundred people involved. There's an economy surrounding it. So we're kind of like the backbones of the music industry. Being in the technical and the sound and setups and all that stuff, systems, tech. So that's the kind of work I do. But I keep that separate. I don't include that with my YouTube. I do with my Facebook. I kind of like with my Facebook as all my, hometown stuff, sound and all that kind of stuff, regular day-to-day life. YouTube is just my ride videos. I did some music videos, obviously, but it was never a priority or anything like that. And then, let's see, Twitter. Well, that's another world. But I don't really mix all that. I just keep them separate. And I appreciate the people that are tuning in and watching. I don't really have often much to say. Like, I mean, being a technically grounded person, so I'm kind of good at, while I'm explaining kind of like in conceptual terms, like how these things work, like a system, the bike as a system. It's a little bit like an audio system. Like the powers or levels are sort of in the same range, cabling and that. Sort of same, there's a lot of similarities. And you just keep everything balanced, and you don't overstress too much. And if you do, you kind of make sure the loads are balanced. I'm talking about like the power output of a battery and into the motor, into the chain, into the mechanism and all that. It all has to kind of fit in a happy little space where they all work happy together and one's not destroying the other. And that's easy to do on a do-it-yourself bike. Like if I would have put a stronger motor on here, I might have snapped my chain earlier. Obviously, you can set the power levels and all that kind of stuff. But I'm, just with a 9-speed chain, I think a 750 watt BBS02 is a perfect match. If I had a fat bike with a thicker, bigger chain, a heavier bike, obviously an HD would be better. But I guess we know that story. Cambrian Heights. Once we get a truck, may take a month or two. I'm starting to look now. But I'm going to plan some trips And because right now I have pretty much gone everywhere. I'm just redoing some of my destinations because they're all within home, like all within biking distance in Sudbury. So I'm looking at expanding that because I do like my channel. Eventually, it's a fun pastime, gives me something to do. Looks like it rained here. I got my rain jacket in my backpack in case it does. All right, let's slow down here. See, that's kind of dangerous. I find that. Yeah, it did rain. There's hardly any clouds in the sky. Weird. Oh, there's kind of one beside me. Big stratocumulus, cumulus cloud, anvil cloud. So here we're coming up to the valley. Yeah. I wonder if we're going to get rained on. I see blue skies ahead of me. I don't know what's behind me. Yeah, I think it was a good idea to get an e-bike and do a year doing this. Yeah, it was a good year, I think. I think it was a good idea. Save my money and then get a truck. What do you think? Think we're gonna get rained on? trust those freaking vehicles. Like a spot like that's kind of sketch. Pushes you out into the road. So it's just like they don't think of bikes. Well, I don't know if it's technically a highway. I guess. Well, it's a short highway between the valley and. But still, it should be a path because it's populated. There's no other way. There's no other way to get around with bikes. There's no. It narrows into this road, and that's the only way to get across. Well, otherwise you'd have to go around even farther on both directions. Which is like, you know, again, one of the things that makes it a little bit challenging in Sudbury. Like, if anybody, like, if you're wanting to get into you live here and you want to get into cycling and around Sudbury, you can kind of see. I got a lot of videos on that where that's why I put the chapters. I put the streets and turn them into chapters, so you can actually search, and it'll come up. You know, the actual chapter of the video, so people can watch that specific spot of the video. And if you're trying to get around, like, you know, find one of my videos to try to get from point A to point B. I did that mostly during the winter, because the winter all my trails were cut off because they were all full of snow. So here's the valley here. Make a lot of noise. Yeah, still the only drops of salt so far coming up from the tires. Just missed the rain. This is A lot of noise for a car. I wouldn't want that. Nope. It's hard to tell if that's needs a repair job or if that is paid for. Still got a little ways to go. Not too far. But the road starts to get narrow coming up. As you can see, it's you can't really ride on a 4-laner like this. Nope. How could you improve it? I don't know. So it gets narrow over here. I'm just going to stick to the shoulder here because that's too close for me. See, the nice thing about on the way back is there's hardly any traffic. See, these are people going home. Like, this is not a through road. Like, this is ends up in at the airport, and then that's it. So at night, there's hardly anybody on the road at all. And so I can go on. I can stay on the lane the whole way and not worry about traffic. But Friday night, people are heading back home from work. And that's so. Busy time. And I get to turn off there coming up. So I just can look at my mirror, see if anyone's coming. That's the worst of it. I get to ride on this slop. Snowbank storage location. All right, so here we go. Dominion. Now I can turn off, get off this highway. All right, that was old Highway 69. Now we're on Dominion. If you're still watching, man, thanks for tuning in. I had to take a commute to work from Sudbury to Hanmer. Which is kind of crazy, actually. But here we are. Actually, it's going to be a year since I installed this motor on this bike. It was right around this time of the year. I think June. Yeah. I'll have to look at the dates, but 1 year, 4,143 kilometers. Still be recording, I guess. A lot of mine workers and contractors live out here. Yeah. Guy got solar on his house. Mary's. So again, thanks a lot for sticking around. If you like the ride, please subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, right ahead. I'm really always enthusiastic at helping people out, set up a bike and kind of share my own experiences and what you can expect if you do your own build. Pretty happy with my build. I'm pretty sure you would be too if you went this route. All right, so here we are at the restaurant. It's probably gonna be busy tonight. This place usually is pretty busy. Loud music packs the place up. Cool. So anyway, I'm gonna end it up here, along here, and again, please like and subscribe, and hope you enjoyed the ride. Have a great day.